want to know what Warren Buffett's top negotiating secrets are, they will absolutely blow your mind, and more important, how you can use them to win. I'm going to give it all to you in this video, so stay tuned. Hey, I'm Rebecca Zung. I'm an attorney, I'm an author, I'm a narcissist, a negotiation expert. I teach people how to negotiate, and specifically how to manage, deal with, and turn the tables on people who have toxic personalities, difficult personalities. And if that's you, if you want to be the most persuasive person in the room, then just hit subscribe and hit that notification bell, and then I will let you know when new videos get uploaded. Okay, let's talk about Warren Buffett's top negotiating secrets. So I did some research. I was like looking into this because I love to know how these top people, the people who are really, really good at it, the people who are really successful at negotiating, do it. And what is it that they do? And what are the words that come out of their mouth that tell you what their negotiation secrets are, so that you can use them and employ them to winning, especially when you're dealing with a high conflict or a difficult personality. Because, hey, when you're dealing with a reasonable person, you know, both sides want to come to some kind of resolution, right? I mean, you wouldn't be in conversation with each other if you didn't want to come to some sort of resolution. Most of the time when you're dealing with reasonable people, there's some kind of something that they want to see as far as value that will satisfy them, so that when they walk away, they feel like they're getting something out of the deal. And that's how deals end up being made. And that's how deals end up sticking, and they don't have problems down the road. And so in my book, Negotiate Like You Matter, I actually talk about that. And the reason why I call it Negotiate Like You Matter is because every human being wants to feel seen, heard, and know that they matter. I mean, that's just part of being a human being. So, you know, as far as like becoming more and more narcissistic, you know, I see it as a spectrum. You know, you get all the way to the end, and it's a person who has no sense of value for anybody else other than themselves, no sense of empathy, no sense of care, you know, all that sort of thing. And so I think sometimes people can just have narcissistic traits or tendencies that, you know, maybe they're not actually a diagnosed actual narcissist, right? But you know what? The way I look at it is like, who really cares? Because like, if they're difficult and they're like toxic and they cause drama, trauma, and chaos in your life, it doesn't matter if they've been actually diagnosed. I mean, they could just be like a jackass, right? But you still have to deal with them in sort of the same way. I did some research and I found out what some of Warren Buffett's, like, you know, number one advice was. And I'm going to tell you what some of the points are. And by the end of this video, you're going to have three really top tips. I'm going to give you the tip, and then I'm going to tell you how it'll work for you in your negotiations. Okay, so number one is to know who it is that you're dealing with. So I mean, I cannot stress this enough. You've got to do your research. You've got to do your research on both sides of the equation, not just yours, but theirs. You want to know, if you're standing in their shoes, what are they going to argue? What is going to be their evidence? What are they going to be presenting? Even if it's not a court case, even if it's just a regular negotiation, right? For example, the more you know about their financial situation, the better off you'll be. So how do they make their money? How do they spend their money? The overall status of whatever it is their financial situation is. You also want to know what their beliefs are. And sometimes you can do some really good recon by looking at people's social media. It'll tell you what's important to them. What kinds of things are they posting? What kinds of places do they go? What kind of travel do they do? What kind of people are they hanging out with? What are their positions on things? All of those things are really, really good to know. And you also want to know why the other person wants to have a conversation with you. What is it that they want from you? Being able to understand that will help you tremendously in creating your strategy, creating your leverage. You know, in my SLAY program, I talk about this. Stands for strategy, leverage, anticipating what the narcissist or other person is going to do, and being 2 steps ahead of them and focusing on you and your case and your position. But understanding what it is that is driving them is going to be really, really important. Remember, the person who wants the agreement more, who is more pushing for the negotiation, who wants to get it done, has less leverage than the person who's like, I don't really care. I can walk away at any moment. So just be really careful about that. And also be careful about kind of having blinders on when you go into the negotiations. You want to keep yourself open and seeing what's going on and assessing the situation. If you are too narrow minded and going into negotiations, you are going to, number one, close yourself to possibilities and also open yourself to risks. So you want to be very hyper aware of what's going on when you're actually having that conversation. And that way you can make sure that you are guiding the process throughout the conversation with them. All right. So if you are following me so far and you understand what it is that I'm saying, and what I'm basically saying is you need to know your enemy. And so I want you to comment below, know your enemy. Comment that right now so that I know that you got point number 1. All right, point number 2 is get the timing right. And this is another one of Warren's special tips, but it is so true. And sometimes, you got to really know when is a good time to present your leverage? When is it a good time to actually sit down and have a conversation with the other side? And maybe you don't even want to, tackle the entire negotiation in one sitting. Maybe you say, today we're only going to handle this particular issue. And sometimes you actually get more momentum that way. So being able to focus on exactly what it is that you're doing and then being fully prepared for that, that will help you tremendously as well. All right. And number 3 is to create a rapport. It is even when you can't stand the other person. I mean, even if like the sight of them just makes you want to like vomit, you are in a negotiation with this person. That means that you want something from them. And that means that there's some reason why you have to be, having a conversation with them. So developing a rapport will be really, really important for you because people want to deal with people that they're having a good conversation with. So part of the way that you can do that is tackle the hard issue second, start with areas where you might agree and then work toward the more contested areas. That way you feel like you're getting some momentum. You feel like you're getting somewhere, having strong body language, feeling confident, using the other person's name, looking them in the eye. All of those are ways that you can develop a really strong rapport as well. I have more on this in the video on the best negotiation advice Oprah ever got, and you should definitely check out that video too. And if you are negotiating, grab my free Crush My Negotiation Prep worksheet at winmynegotiation.com. I have a lot of this is actually in that. It's basically an ebook. It's 15 pages, and a lot of this is actually in there as well. And join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. I'd love to see you in there. And if you like this video, give it a like, share it out, drop me that comment, tell me know your enemy or whatever else it is that you're thinking. And make sure that you subscribe and you hit that notification bell. I'm Rebecca Zung. Remember, today is a great day to start negotiating your best life. I will see you in that next video.